Hey everyone, welcome back to Emlyn in the Mix. Going to be looking at the updated Korg Legacy Collection. What is new about it? I did a video on the Korg Legacy Collection ages ago and it's like my most popular video. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put the link somewhere now so you can go there and watch that. But stay for now, because we're going to look at what's new in 2019 and 2020 with the Korg Legacy Collection. I recently upgraded. Before I upgraded, I actually wasn't sure why I should upgrade or what was good about the upgrade. So that's what I'm going to go over today. I'm going to show you exactly what you get and is it worth upgrading. So stick around, you're on Emlyn in the Mix. Boom. Alright guys, so kicking off today's video, we're going to look at the first of the Korg Legacy Collection bunch. And in no particular order, I'm just going to be looking, the first one I'm looking at is the ARP Odyssey. So I've got it up here on the screen. Alright, let's get started. So ARP Odyssey, here we go. Just a really authentic analog sound. We'll go through some of the presets here. You can just have a listen. Some really fat and warm leads. Classic synchronized Korg sound. Keep going through a few here. Yeah, so the presets are beautiful, very authentic. And for those who own an ARP Odyssey, they will immediately familiarize themselves with these sounds. So yeah, if we jump into our presets, we can see we've got factory presets. We can look at all of our presets. And then we've got this Rev 1 and Rev 2, which stands for Revision 1 and Revision 2 of the Odyssey. And you also get new skins with these revisions. So for example, if we look at the Revision 1, and we just pick any preset here, you can see the skin changes on the GUI. It's just a really nice aesthetic. We can look at Revision 2 and you'll see you're going to have a different skin basically, just to represent that ARP Odyssey model. Nice arpeggiators. So as you can see, there's the ARP Odyssey. We've got a few to get through, but again, that is really awesome. Amazing emulation of a classic and one of the best, well-renowned Korg synthesizers from an era where synthesis was just massive. This is really well done, and it's included in the Korg Legacy Collection. Alright, moving along, we've got the Korg M1, and again, I mean, not a lot has changed, but again, there's been some tweaks to the GUI. So if you have a look to the top right, you can actually preview your presets now, which is really cool. You just click on this button here. And there's actually different patterns that we can put in as well. So we can do arpeggiator. Although that's probably not the best sound to check that on, so we can go to Browse. We can look at different cards here. Let's choose a sound. That's probably not right either. Maybe slow chord. Let's have a look. Hey, let's get a better sound. Let's go to card 1. Here we go. Just allows you to get familiar with the sound, I guess, the preset sound. Now again, no massive changes with this, but you can see you get that really authentic, awesome M1 sounds. And what's amazing about owning this particular soft synth is that for those who actually owned an M1 back in the 80s, they would appreciate this is amazing because you get all the ROM expansions, all the cards that you could possibly get for the M1 are in this particular soft synth. Like if I go back to browse, we look at card, like you got 21 cards or something. It's insane. Then you got your user ones, you can add your own. Like these are just like no one, to my knowledge, I mean some people might have had all the cards, but not many people would have had them, you know. And it's just a cool thing that Korg did. They allowed for having those expansions so that you could actually expand upon this incredible instrument, which was one of the biggest synthesizers of the 80s. Anyway, I won't bore you too much with the sounds. Just wanted to show you what's new. Alright, let's move along to the next one. Boom. So next up, as part of the Korg Legacy Collection, we've got the Mono Poly. Let's have a look at this. Some really awesome lush pads. The Mono Poly again was a classic of its time and had some true analog amazing sounds. And again, Korg have done an incredible job with the emulation of this soft synth. I really love it. Let's go through some of the presets here. Really nice arpeggiators, just really genuine analog sort of sound. Ooh, techno. And some fat basses too, not to mention fat bass. This is a very fat bass. Whoa, that is deep. Now, I'm not going to lie, the Korg Legacy Collection are some of my favorite sounding synthesizers, and I dare say in 2020 I'm going to be using these quite a lot again back in my productions. I did stop using them for a couple of years because there was that crossover with the computing power going from 32-bit to 64-bit, and I found a lot of the hosts weren't supporting the older versions of the Korg Legacy Collection. But there you go, that's the Mono Poly from the Korg Legacy Collection. Let's move on to our next soft synth. Alright, so next up we have the MS20 Emulation, and again, if you're an MS20 owner or an MS20 Mini owner, which I am, you're going to appreciate these sounds. You're really going to appreciate the sounds actually, because you can actually pull up presets. You can't do that on the original MS20. So the fact of being able to have presets loaded, like just to create that patch for that preset would be a pain in the ass, but it just sounds awesome and it sounds so authentic. If you're an MS20 owner, you'll know. Just some really cool mono analog sounding patches. I love how they randomly just pop in some techno beat sequence. That actually sounds really good. I have not been able to do that with my MS20. That, again, would be very... I mean, maybe it's not hard to patch that. And if you're a synth nerd, you'll know how to do that very easily. But the MS20... I'm going to keep saying MS20. The MS20 is actually an incredible synth because there's a lot you can do with it. And I think that's why it's so popular. Awesome. Bit of delay. Yeah, if you want fat analog bass too, this is the perfect soft synth for it. So for this one, in terms of updates, I don't think the GUI's been changed at all. You can actually click this control feature here to get a closer look at your control, which is kind of neat. You did have that before. Got your filter there. But it does sound really authentic. So that's the 64-bit version of the MS20. Let's move to the next soft synth in the Korg Legacy Collection. So also included is the Poly6. And the Poly6 I love for like strings or pads. It's also very good. So let's see if we can find a preset to match just what I said. So your presets, you browse down here. So sort of like pad leads, there, it's just an amazing sounding. And of course it is polyphonic, so you can play more than one note, unlike the MS20. Some of the patches are monophonic though, so you won't be able to play multiple notes at one time. So that's the Poly6 for leads and pads. It's amazing. Alright, let's move on to the next one, the Wave Station. Alright, and lastly, in our Korg Legacy Collection update overview, we have the Wave Station. And not a lot has changed here. There looks like there's some slight tweaks just to the overall maybe color scheme. But again, these updates are so minuscule. I'll run you through quickly some of the sounds of the Wave Station. This was also a very popular synth. And what was incredible about the Korg Wave Station is that it was running multiple sounds and you can sort of mix them all together. And that was a unique feature of this particular synthesizer. Let's just go through some of the presets here and have a listen. And you've got this sort of joystick, this A, B, C, D thing, which you can sort of go through your different sounds. There you go, you can sort of hear it. Depends on what preset you have. I'll just try and get a multiple. Here we go. So you can hear you got multiple things going on there. So if I play with the joystick here, so you can hear it's going through the different, actually it was just playing with one of the layers there, but you could hear it was going to a more complex rhythm and then a more simple rhythm. But again, we're not going to go too deep into the Wave Station right now. Just wanted to show you the updates with this Korg Legacy Collection. What do I think? Yes, it's freaking awesome. It all works really stably in 64-bit now and I'm super happy. Should you upgrade? Well, if you are planning on upgrading your whole system to run in 64-bit, whether that's Windows or Mac, and you want to use these, then definitely upgrade. It's only $49 US, I think, for the upgrade. To get into the Korg Legacy Collection, I believe it's about $200 US. So it's definitely worth it in my opinion if you like those sounds. Like if you like, because Korg has a genuinely unique sound and soundscape. So if you like the Korg sounds, then do it. Upgrade or buy the Korg Legacy Collection because it is awesome value for money. Seriously, when you consider that each of these synthesizers were costing $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000 a piece back in the day, and this is back in the 80s and 90s when those amounts of money were probably like this equivalent of buying $20,000 or $30,000. So there's a lot of money basically for a very tiny amount of money now that you can have in software. So anyway guys, that is my overview of the Korg Legacy Collection update. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you're loving what I'm doing. Alright, thanks so much for joining me on Emlyn and Mix. Peace out. Boo!